Hello and welcome to Jedi Journal. My name is Setanako, and this is part 5 of our Kyber healing meditation series. In the previous episodes, we've covered the people the Force calls us to help heal, the importance of knowing our emotions, and how your own healing tradition is valued in this meditation session. This week, we're going to cover the closing of the Kyber healing session. After the 4 minutes of silence we talked about last week, you will be called to close the healing session by saying goodbye to your patient. Now, it's not a goodbye because that just kind of feels so informal. So the line we use to close this out is based on the 4th and the 5th lines of the Jedi Code. We tell you to speak over them. I now release you to the Force. May the chaos be turned to harmony. This line isn't just for the patient, it's also for us. We are making the statement that we have faith in the Force to heal them, believing the line that states, there is no death, there is the Force. Or, if you prefer, death, yet the Force. This is an acknowledgement to them just as much as it is us recognizing that we need to trust in the Force. After all, the Force did bring us to the individual, knowing that we could uniquely speak to whatever it is that ails them. By trusting that the Force carried us to them because it trusts our own ability, we have to trust that it has its own ability to ensure that our efforts do not go to waste. May the chaos be turned to harmony is just as much about the 4th line as it is the 5th line of the Jedi Code. It is an acknowledgement that nothing has to be wasted, but more importantly, that harmony can be restored as a kind of blessing spoken over the person. This could mean that it helps alleviate what they're going through. It might mean that they are building stronger relationships with the people around them. It might cause them to go into a line of work where it helps alleviate others going through similar circumstances. Or it could just be simply a blessing to hear that this chaos can and will pass if we allow harmony into our lives. On the other side, so to speak, there will be clearer skies as long as you allow harmony into your life. It is the last thing we tell the spirit we were brought to help heal. And it is the last thing we say before we return to our own space in the physical world. Now, I haven't brought it up yet, so it kind of seems like it would be best to probably insert right here that the beginning of this meditation has a world tree. So you start out in front of the world tree, and this is basically called to a common universal symbol that many traditions across the world have. There's, this kind of sort of world tree that connects all life together. So the tree is our interface with the Force in the Kyber healing session. Upon return to the tree, you are asked to face the tree and express gratitude to it, and the Force for bringing you to the person that needed your aid. This is another lesson of the Jedi path, that the Force is our ally, not our servant, and not our dictator. When we interact with it as an ally, we don't put it under our foot, and we don't act as though we're begrudgingly subservient. I mean, especially when this is a voluntary gig, right? You're not going to be upset. So instead, we give respect. It didn't pull us in of our own without our free will to do so. And one of the best ways to give this respect is to express gratitude. So then finally, you get a count to come back into the world. You actually get a count down to get in, and then you get a count up to go back. But anyways, the point is that after that, you come back to full waking consciousness, which kind of brings me to the fact that you actually get an opportunity at this closing to talk with everybody in the room about what you experienced. We opened the door for that. So I actually want to kind of use that to explain why these sessions are done live and not just a meditation we throw up on YouTube that you can do it whenever you want. So it's not like it's us trying to keep the meditation hush-hush. That has nothing to do with it. But there are 2 reasons. So one is that we believe that it is important for someone to be available in the event that a participant gets too caught up in the meditation, whether their emotions are out of whack or they just need someone to talk to or whatever. We believe that someone should be there in that space for them. In this regard, the person that is facilitating the session is available for those who are being dispatched, so to speak. They're also supposed to be there to monitor how everybody's doing. So although it's not required, we do kind of prefer that you have your video camera on so that we can, watch you, but it's not required. It's just like, if you feel like you're worried or whatever, you can send us a message in Zoom and say, hey, I'm having problems, or we can visually see it, and then we can try to use our energy to help you. And then 2 is that this is so you have a group of people available after the meditation that can help alleviate the burden of carrying all the emotions any one person in the group experienced. So you're given an opportunity at the very end of the session, as I mentioned, to talk about what you went through with the group. And this can help begin the process of self-care for yourself, because you are verbalizing and letting yourself know and letting everyone else know that you were impacted by the event and how it impacted you. And we can follow up, or you might see somebody in the room and they are somebody that would call and talk to you anytime and just help you through it because you had a bad experience. It's a thing that happens. So the meditation is not a guarded secret, though I do hope, if there's anybody else who is interested in forming their own Kyber healing meditation group, I would hope that you would reach out to me or Rosalind, and we can talk about the next steps of how that would look, and help you figure out how you would learn to use the script that we have. Anyways, thank you for joining me through this mini-series, and I hope that it has brought you closer to awakening the Jedi within.